All right. Right on time. Good evening, everyone. We'll call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock on.
Good evening, good evening. I call the meeting to order.
That's my job, but I appreciate that, Councilman, for the reminder. Um, it's 7 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. We've got um, most of the council in person. I am looking online. I also see Councilmember Foe and Councilmember Cologne is also online. So we're all here, both in person and remote. And welcome, everyone. This is our legislative meeting. The last legislative meeting for the month, for the year potentially, but you never know. We may need to throw another one in there just for old time's sake. But I'm excited about this. And so we have an agenda, and sort of the first order of agenda is actually after the call of order is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I ask all those who can to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next up on the agenda, we have the approval of the agenda. It was sent to council. And there is a copy before us, and we'll be presenting online in 1 second. I will ask if there's any amendments to the agenda or any stated conflicts for the agenda items.
I have none.
Okay. There is one item on the agenda that would like to remove new business. The first item, invitation to bid for town lawn mowing and maintenance services, is actually not going to be ready for today, and so we'll suggest that we remove that as part of the agenda for today.
Mr. Mayor,
Council member,
I'd like to move that we approve the agenda as presented with the modification of omitting legislative action item number 5.
legislative action number 5 or new business item number 1?
New business item number 1. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
You just said it. How did I miss it?
It's all good. Okay. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Councilmember Smith and second by Councilmember Cologne. Any debate on the motion? Or we'll go to roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop. Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Cologne.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. Okay. First up, we have our monthly finance report.
Deputy Director Jones.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public. Tonight's finance reports cover revenue and expenditure for the month of November for the current fiscal year, as well as the 2 previous fiscal years, as well as September and October. So for the month of November, revenue totals $661,380. Expenditures total $591,885 with a revenue net expenditure total of $69,495. The year-to-date total is $8,352,690 for the revenue, and the year-to-date expenditure total is $4,083,758 with a revenue net expenditure total of $268,932. So for November, revenues came in strong at about 661,000, which is still noticeably down from the same month last year. Most of the decrease is due to timing. If you look in the month of October, we received significantly more revenue. So again, this is just a timing due to when we received the property and income tax distributions. As far as the expenditures, we spent just under $600,000 in November, which is also a bit lower, but consistent with what we've seen in prior years. And this does reflect conservative spending. So if we look at the year to date through November, we've collected roughly $8.3 million, or about 71% of our annual budget, compared to around 56% at this point last year. Expenditures totaled $4 million, or 35% of budget, which is right on target and consistent with where we've been in previous years. So overall, the town is expected to reach its budgeted revenue and stay within budgeted expenditures. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Deputy Director Jones. Any questions for Director Jones?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Worsnop.
thank you. Deputy Director Jones, thank you so much for this presentation. This is a really minor clarification question. But on the first page of the revenue and expenditure comparison, I'm just confirming that the figure showing revenues and expenditures for November is using the incorrect colors for revenues and expenditures. Is that right? Just for my own comprehension.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Revenues are higher than expenditures.
Correct, yes.
Okay, okay.
We'll be
Thank
sure to fix that for the next report. Sorry about that.
Not at all. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to adopt the monthly finance report subject to audit?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion by Councilmember Smith and seconded by Councilmember Foe. Any debate on this motion? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Foe,
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua,
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop,
Hi.
Councilmember Ramos,
Aye.
Councilmember Kalan.
Aye.
I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Okay. Next we have the correspondence summary, which I believe there was no correspondence for. Yes, there is no correspondence for on up to this point. Okay. Next up on the agenda, we have public comments. Again, for those who are online, please raise your hand and you'll be recognized in order. For those in person, please feel free to come to the front and unmute the mic, and you'll be able to address us in public comments. We'll take notes and obviously we'll respond back in due time. So we will leave it open for public comments for at least the next, minute or two in case someone joins us. And then if not, then we'll move to our consent agenda. Okay, we have a comment in the room. Just be sure to unmute the mic, press the button until you see the green light, and then introduce yourself, and then the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and all council members. It's quite a pleasure to be in front of you today. I'll be very brief. I come here tonight, Patricia Hayes Parker, Executive Director for CCAR, Central Kenilworth Avenue Revitalization CDC. I come before you tonight just to ask if I may and others associated with a project that we are doing in Riverdale. It is called the Purple Line Connectivity Project, and it involves not only East Riverdale, but also the town of Riverdale Park. I would like to come before you at the appropriate meeting to provide you information about the project, the program, and the significance that it has and we feel will have for the overall community. If that is possible, that's my comment.
Thank you. So, yes, we appreciate your comment. Any other public comments? Okay. Seeing no hands raised online and no one else in person, we will move to our next agenda item, which is the consent agenda, which contains our legislative meeting minutes, as well as work session meeting minutes from November 3rd, October 27th. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Smith and seconded by Councilmember Foe. We will go to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Cologne.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. Okay. Next, we have our legislative items, 5 items for tonight. The first is a letter of support to Prince George's County Board of License of Commissioners for Leon Bar and Grill LLC, which will be located on 4415 East West Highway. We've talked about this in the past in our previous session. The owner of Leon's Bar and Grill came and talked to us about the vision that they have, and they're seeking council support for a Class B beer, wine, liquor license for the Prince George's County Board of Licenses and Commissioners to sort of support their application. They came to us on November 24th. So with that, is there a motion to authorize a letter of support to Prince George's County Board of Licenses and Commissioners for Leon's Bar and Grill LLC, located at 4415 East West Highway?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Smith.
I'd like to motion to authorize a letter of support to Prince George's County Board of License Commissioners for Leon's Grill and Bar LLC, located at 4415 East West Highway.
Seconded.
Motion by Councilmember Smith, seconded by Councilmember Foe. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate the gentleman from Leon's Grill and Bar coming to our meeting, our work session last week, and giving us a robust packet on what they intend to do there. Looks like it'll be a wonderful addition to Ward 1 and the town. And I enthusiastically support this item. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other comments from council? Okay. Hearing no other comments, we'll go to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Cologne.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. Next, legislative action item number 2 is around the town manager to sign a confirmatory and corrective deed and certificate of conveyance for the Beale Circle property, which is on 4513 Rittenhouse Street.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Smith.
I'd like to motion to authorize the town manager to sign a confirmatory and corrective deed and a certificate of conveyance for the Beale Circle property at 4513 Rittenhouse Street.
Seconded.
Motion by Councilmember Smith, seconded by Councilmember Foe. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember.
Once again, great progress for Ward 1 and for the town of Riverdale Park. Thank you to Senator Washington for the grant involved in this deed correction. That's going to do great things for the town in terms of our stormwater management. As we know, there isn't one thing that we can do to fix that problem. There's a lot of little and medium-sized things, and this is definitely one of those things. So excited to support this, and thank you to staff for dealing with the Kafka-esque administrative processes here that necessitated this motion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other comments from council? I'll just say that I agree with the comments from my colleague from the First Ward. Also, this will be a process that I think as a town we understand and learn, and the uniqueness of what things are named and who they technically officially belong to, and sort of sorting through that. And so I think I applaud the town staff for pushing through on getting this property done, knowing that there's a larger conversation on all of the other property that the town owns, even though it's maybe in the wrong name, and the need for deed changes. So that's something that we'll look into, but I think it makes sense, and I appreciate the idea of moving forward on this in the interest of time, knowing that we'll revisit this for other properties in a more coordinated effort. Okay. Any other comments from council, from the public? Okay, there's a motion on the table. We'll go to roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Cologne.
Aye.
I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. All right, next up, we have the Sister City affiliation.
Well, if I may, because it's deja vu all over again. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to adopt a resolution 2025-R-17 for the purpose of reaffirming Riverdale Park's commitment to its sister city, the city of Ipala, located in the state of Chiquimula in the nation of Guatemala.
Thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilmember Foe. Motion by Councilmember Lingua. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Councilmember Lingua.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This is a program, as was stated, began back in 2008. It was essentially curtailed temporarily during the pandemic. And I think at this time, being able to resurrect it and give it a new renaissance, or a renaissance, pardon me, it's not a new renaissance. For there is much that a municipality of ours can bring to offer to the city of Ipala, as well as what the city of Ipala can offer to our town of Riverdale Park and the surrounding area as well.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other comments from council? I'll just add that I appreciate, former Mayor Vernon Archer coming and addressing the council. And anytime we can have a program that has the opportunity to proceed and leave a lasting impact far outside of the original sort of time frame it was envisioned, I think is a positive. There aren't as many examples of that, and especially in times like this, I think the opportunity for a cultural exchange of ideas, an opportunity for our town to learn from their experiences and vice versa is only a net benefit. And so I look forward to figuring out what that looks like in more detail for this, iteration in the 2025, 2026 timeframe. I'm sure there'll be a lot of things that were just as relevant when it was first envisioned, 10 plus years ago, and things that we would not been able to envision now. And so looking forward to that process. Okay. With that, we have a motion and a second. We'll go to a roll call vote on the motion to adopt resolution 2025-R17 regarding reaffiliation of the sister city affiliation. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Colon.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. Okay, next we have two motions. We will vote on them separately, but they are interrelated. One is about the installation of 10 LED lights on Pepco poles, and then the other is the contract order for Mead and Hunt for with Icon Electrical Contracting. We've talked about this in our previous work session. The idea on Lafayette Avenue to 47th Street, that light project, was the ongoing installation of multiple town-owned pedestrian lights, but also putting lights on Pepco poles. And so the first motion is to authorize a contract with Pepco for installing 10 lights on their poles, not to exceed a $20,000 plus amount. Is there a motion on the table?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Smith. Foe.
I'd like to motion to authorize a contract with Pepco for the installation of 10 LED lights for on Pepco poles for an amount not to exceed $20,334.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Foe, seconded by Councilmember Smith. Any discussion on the motion? Okay. Hearing none, seeing none. We'll go to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Colon.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. And the next is the task order with Mead and Hunt and Icon Electrical Contracting.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Foe.
I'd like to motion to increase the task order contract with Mead and Hunt and Icon Electrical Contracting LLC for an amount not to exceed $22,000.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Foe, seconded by Councilmember Lingua. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Colon.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. That'd be great to get those light posts installed. Okay, that wraps up our legislative items. We have one item of unfinished business, one item of new business, and then the reports. And I won't say anything about timing, but I like our pace. First item of unfinished business, the only item of unfinished business is council rules of procedure. Again, we're keeping this on the agenda. This is an important item. Obviously, it's not just a document that dictates as a body how we proceed and operate, from rules of procedure that we know will be heavily influenced by Roberts, but also if there are unique things that we want to incorporate, this is our opportunity to do so. But also, it's our opportunity to lay out clearly what our vision is, the way we operate from a both logistical standpoint, but also things we aspire to. We've been shared examples of other municipalities in the surrounding areas and what they do. We're the only municipality in our region, especially with our peers, that don't have a document like this. And so I know I have homework to come up with a draft of something to at least give us something to think about. But I encourage folks as they think about stuff, whether it's you're inspired on TV or you see something, to write it down, send me a note. Happy to think about it and incorporate it. I know we have a couple residents who are parliamentarians who also offer to give some feedback. So this will be crowdsourced, but again, this is a living document that hopefully will guide as a directional vehicle in terms of how we want to operate as a group. So with that, any thoughts, comments, questions from the council on that? Standing homework for people to think about and consider.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I know I'm still trying to wade through everything with all the lovely references we got from different municipalities. And it's making for a formidable amount of reading. I think probably at some point we're going to want to try and probably have work sessions or something extracurricular that just focuses on that and then allows us to be able to sit as a group and weigh everything. Probably also outside of just work sessions and legislative sessions as well.
I agree. It makes sense. As long as we're sub quorum, that's a great idea. We should definitely do that. But I think the point is valid in the sense that the answer won't be a replica of any one particular municipality because we're all uniquely different. But there's a lot of opportunities for us to learn. The good thing is we don't have to necessarily reinvent the wheel. I talked to a couple other elected officials, and they spent a long time sort of, building this from scratch. So we have the benefit of learning from their building off of their shoulders, but it's still going to be, I think, a decent amount of work to kind of nail this thing down. So, but I look forward to the challenge. Little light reading for your holidays. If you find yourself vacationing, traveling somewhere, crack open a chapter and think about Robert's rules of, privileged. That's what I did this past weekend, because I got the recommendation from council member about those motions. So, but don't let me steal your thunder. Feel free to attack it any way you want. Okay. That's all we have for that. Again, please feel free to be in contact. If you have ideas, reach out. Next on the agenda, we have new business, just the renewal of town grant programs. Is there a presentation from staff to talk about this topic?
There is, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Chelton.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and members of the council and the public. So tonight I'm coming before you today to talk about the town's administered grant programs. We've talked about them, some of them quite recently, and some of them it's been a little while. But to give a reminder of our grant programs, we have the Farmers Market Dollars Plus program, which we had just established funding for again and expanded to include local grocery stores. We have the Emergency Repair Grant Program, the Flood Prevention and Damage Mitigation Grant Program, the Neighborhood Safety Improvement Grant Program, the Commercial Appearance Grant Program, the Community Spirit Grant Program, and the Business Growth Grant Program. And each of these grant programs sunset or they expire on December 31st of this year. And so the staff are requesting that the mayor and council extend this to have the programs expire at the end of the next calendar year. So they would be established for an additional calendar year. The last item that the staff are requesting is a motion to waive the residential permit fee. That's something that the council has done for the last few years. It promotes it promotes residents to actually receive their building permits, and it's seen as an act of good faith, and it does not provide any sort of strain for the town's revenue supply. So in general, the grant programs, we suggested that they all extend for another calendar year. Some of the grant programs are used over my tenure. Some of them have been used more frequently than others, and sometimes it ebbs and flows. Right now, we're not seeing a lot of people do a lot of renovations, whether that be on commercial properties or residential properties. So we're seeing a bit of a slow time right now for our grant programs. But I would say that having the grant programs available is a low administrative cost for the town. And it's something that when there is a instance when it's required, it's great to have the programs available and not have to wait uh, for the program to be established and set up to begin running. Similar to the farmers market dollars, it was very helpful to be able to just begin running the program as soon as the mayor and council advised us of that. And so if there are any questions about the grant programs or the motion to waive the residential permit fee, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Director Shelton. Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember?
Thank you for this. Just a quick question. So this just extends them administratively. It does not like say anything about the funds that are available for them. Is that correct?
That's correct. I guess in the spring, when we're doing the budget process, that's when the funds are established for all of the programs. So there's an economic development fund, which funds many of the commercial grant programs. And then there's a community development fund, which funds the programs aimed towards residents for the most part. So the accessory structure grant program comes from the community development fund, while the business growth grant, for example, comes from the economic development fund.
Okay, so we'll be setting new amounts for those in this budget cycle then.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other comments or questions from council? Question I have, Director, is you mentioned there's a low administrative hurdle. Do you have any insights in terms of you mentioned some of them are less used than others at the moment.
Mhm.
If when we establish a program, does that also mean that the dollars sort of associated with them will are already earmarked in those programs? Or is that the establishment or keeping them on and the funding them are two separate conversations?
I would say that they're two separate conversations. The town manager would like to disagree or clarify that. I'd appreciate that. But I believe that the programs there's the two buckets of funds that are used for programs, the commercial programs and the residential programs, and those, as I mentioned before, are established during the budget process. And so when we establish a new program, so they all come from one of those two already pre-established revenue, or not revenue, but one of those two established funds. And so if we were to establish a new commercial program, for example, we would include in the program's establishment that the funds from that program will come from the Economic Development Fund. And so they all come from one of those two funding sources.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may add, and Director Shelton, I'm agreeing with you. Just maybe a little nuanced answer. So when we went through the budget process, the programs were envisioned to be funded for the full fiscal year. And so the amounts that were allocated were for the full fiscal year. And we anticipated that the council would renew and extend these programs. So that's envisioned and in the approved fiscal 26 budget.
Thank you. That's helpful. More so thinking about the idea of in the event if we wanted to sort of move funds around from programs that are less used to other programs that are more used. That's a separate conversation that would be easy to do, even if the program is extended, it can be extended with less funds or no funds, if that was sort of the will of the council.
Yes, and so I believe what Mr. Chelton was saying is that the funds come from these two buckets, and on the fund balance sheet, we just anticipate a lump sum of expenditures for grant programs. So each program isn't funded by a separate line item. And so if
It's
we,
almost first come, first serve for the grant programs
Yeah.
with regards to those buckets. So if the accessory structure grant program, for example, is used quickly and by a large amount, then that's where the community development funds would go.
Okay. Nope, super helpful. Just wanted to clarify that. So keeping them available is for our benefit because it gives us a level of flexibility to move quickly. And we wouldn't have to sunset a program as part of a way to move funds around. So we have more flexibility this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification in the comments. And so is this something that we'd want to, I think the council is probably ready to vote on it now. Would you want to revisit this, or something that we could tackle today?
We actually have to come to you with the resolutions. They have to be continued with resolutions. Is that correct, Mr. Chelton?
That's correct, yes. But we'll be able to do that at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments or questions from council?
I have none.
Okay. Thank you, Director Shelton. Appreciate the update, and looking forward to the resolutions to voting on those. All right. Next up on the agenda is the mayor's report. We'll be brief. I think just wanted to hopefully wish everyone they had hopefully a happy, relaxing Thanksgiving holiday or break, however you choose to celebrate it. I know there's a lot of stress that comes with it, whether it's, traveling. I personally, travel to New Jersey to spend time with family. And so the commuting, all that is can take a lot out of you, but the reminder of being able to spend time with those who are close to you was a welcome reminder. We're into December already, which means that the legislative session for next year kicks off in January, and so the work to identify bills and priorities for the legislative session is already ongoing. Tomorrow will be the District 22 legislative dinner hosted by State Senator Alonzo Washington, who's going to have all of us, all of the municipalities within District 22 come together and sort of talk about priorities and things that we want to address. And so I know as a group, we've discussed a lot of priorities, and like every year, there's always more asks than there are budget and bill support available. And I know this year will be even more challenging, knowing that the budgets for the state continues to be challenging. That being said, it's still important to show our support and lobby as much as possible for things that mean the most to us. We've talked about a bunch of different ones, but stormwater management still becomes a top of mind. The connectivity to make it safer to walk, bike, drive, pedestrian safety, connecting our sort of main arteries within the town, whether that's sidewalks or lighting around the Purple Line stations in town, as well as East-West Highway and even the Riverdale Road Bridge. We've laid all these things out and shared them, and looking forward to sort of talking more with our other municipalities in New Carrollton Heights, Greenbelt, Berwyn Heights, University Park, College Park is not College Park, but Riverdale Park as well, having an opportunity to talk and get priorities. So looking forward to that. And we'll be joined by Councilmember Warsnop and Councilmember Foe as well. So we'll get the details on when and where that's going to be exactly sometime tonight. But looking forward to that conversation. The other sort of report I wanted to come back on is I met with County Council Member at large Jolene Ivy today, talking about murals, ground murals. She's been actively leading an effort on having the county sort of identify opportunities and locations for intersection murals. And so was able to talk about the two raised intersections that we have planned on Riverdale Road, one at Taylor and one at 54th Avenue, as sort of, prime opportunities to do that. She's been working with the county over the they said they've been meeting for at least a year or so with a slight break after the change in administration. But there's some funds available for that to sort of help with the process of county and like town charrettes and identifying artists and obviously picking what we want the murals to be. But I'm looking forward to that process. We know that 2 years ago we had tragedy happen right outside of our doors, and I get a lot of comments about what are we doing, what is the town doing, and from the outside in, not much has changed. But that's not to say that nothing has been done. So there's a lot of things happening in the background. So one of the things that I look forward with this process is I think the opportunity to engage the community on an effort like this. One, not just to talk about what mural we would want in an intersection, but I think also to give people an opportunity to reinvest and reengage in how we try to make our streets a little safer, especially on Riverdale Road, which we know is a key artery that connects the elementary school to a lot of our surrounding neighborhoods around town. So hopefully that we know learn a little more about that, and we're sort of able to share and get some information on potential opportunities for programs to sort of help fund and some of the stormwater or additional sort of work that needs to be done in order to support those opportunities. So as we learn more, we'll definitely lean into that and partner. And then lastly was just, I know I've had a couple folks actually come up to me and ask about stop sign cameras. Even the council member, she also asked about, where are we on stop sign cameras? Like, she's willing to come in and happy to vote for it at the county council. So it's just a reminder that I know we started this program or this process a few weeks ago. And just a reminder that, we'll probably have to come back soon and do the work of where we would want these locations to be and trying to think about what that looks like. But there's support. I think Glen Arden just put in some, so there's a couple of different municipalities within the county that have started their programs. And so we will learn, we will identify, and hopefully, the hope is that these things become in some ways useless, where no one, everyone stops and, we give no tickets out because people are adhering to the traffic rules. I'd love for that to be the case. Same with our speed cameras as well. But until then, we'll have to go through that process. So just another reminder that I know we haven't talked about it in a couple of meetings, but it's something that we would want to reconsider or, bring back into our forefront on how we approach that. And so with that, I will yield the rest of my time. And with that, we will turn it over to next. We have the town manager's report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council and the community. First, I want to apologize for my absence. Did have a nice Thanksgiving, or not my absence, my virtual presence this evening, and had a nice Thanksgiving, but we had an uninvited guest, COVID, and that as of now, I'm still testing negative, but most of the people that I joined with for dinner are now COVID positive. So we'll see how that plays out. A few items. Today is World AIDS Day. The federal government is no longer recognizing World AIDS Day, but it is an opportunity for every community and individuals to honor the more than 32 million people who have died worldwide from AIDS-related illnesses. And so I just wanted to highlight that. And then we're anticipating a possible winter weather event in the early hours of the morning. So Director Lewis and her DPW leadership team will be ready for that. We have the holiday season kickoff event coming up this Friday from 6 until 9 in Town Center. And special thank you to the Riverdale Park Farmers Market, Inc. and the Riverdale Park Arts for their partnership on the event. At the event, we will accept new unwrapped toys as part of our annual toy drive. And every year, it seems that the need grows some, and we believe that this year the need will be substantial. It's possible, well, it's likely, Mr. Mayor, that we will be asking for a special legislative session on Tuesday, December 16th. So it's important for everyone to note that the next mayor and council meeting is on a Tuesday, the 16th, and not on Monday. Town Hall and DPW operations will be closed on both December 25th and on January 1st. Lastly, we've talked with the mayor and council about our endeavor to build community spirit and support and unity around our community standing together. It's part of the One Riverdale Park campaign. And so the signs that we've ordered have arrived. And Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you for putting together that note that explains what One Riverdale Park is. And we'll be coordinating to get a signed copy from you so we can then begin distribution of the signs. Staff have developed a online form for residents to request a sign, or residents can simply call Town Hall. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll end my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager, for your comments. Any questions for the Town Manager? Or
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Council Member?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Listician. I'm still waiting on a follow-up regarding the schedule on speed hump installation over in Ward 3, specifically along Taylor Road.
My apologies for that, Councilmember Lingua. Director Lewis, let's touch base first thing in the morning and get that ironed out.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor?
Council Member?
I thank the town manager for raising the occurrence of World AIDS Day and highlighting the administration's abandonment of this very important observance. I hate that we seem to have missed it this year, but assuming the administration continues to do this in coming years, I think it would be useful for us to include a proclamation as such alongside the other items that on observances that we generally offer proclamations for. I think in the absence of federal action on that, it would be good for our residents to hear that we stand in solidarity with them. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Councilmember Smith. I'm fully in agreement with you on that. And it's part of the One Riverdale Park, I don't say mantra, but sort of our kind of goal for this administration. I failed to mention that in my report, but I basically pulled some words together based off the conversations that we had as part of our strategic plan. And hopefully that explains the purpose behind it and why it's sort of a guiding light for us this year. And so if there's a sign ready now, would love to walk away with a sign tonight if that's possible. I think a couple other folks would be as well. If not, that's fine. We can come back, but looking forward to sort of proudly displaying that as well. Thank you, Town Manager, for your report. Okay. What next? We have our ward reports. As is our tradition, we start with the council member in the first ward, Councilmember Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will be as brief as I can. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I know I was personally thankful that I get to work with all of my colleagues on the council here, and especially with the staff. I don't think I'm out on a limb when I say we have the best staff of any town in America, and I'm proud that you guys punch above your weight and do great things for our town. I'm also reminded that as much as it's wonderful to celebrate each other and spend time together during these holidays, that a number of people also experience in this time a good deal of heartache and loss. And I want to send my sympathies to a particular local Riverdale Park business who on Sunday night, the Washington Commanders experienced heartache and loss to the best team in the NFL, the Denver Broncos. So solidarity and sympathy to that local business from the Discovery District. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councilmember Foe, Ward 2.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize too for my virtual appearance this evening. I am dark and in the attic, and occasionally forced to do childcare responsibility this evening, as is the demands of the job. I don't have anything this evening. I look forward to the District 22 meeting tomorrow. It's an exciting opportunity to collab with local legislators and hear what's going on in District 22. And I'm excited for that opportunity. And with that, I'll yield my time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Lingwood, Ward 3.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Good evening to everyone tuning in or here in Town Hall. Really, the most of the things that I was to report on, I gave last week, and there's really not much new to add to that. So I will actually know there is one thing that I forgot last week, and when I walked out of here, I felt like a dolt for not remembering it. And that was an acknowledgement of the effort made by our police department previous weekend before Thanksgiving with the helping essentially direct folks over to Riverside Drive Park for the turkey giveaway sponsored by Senator Washington. And being that I've got the chief and the assistant chief here, gentlemen, to your staff, on behalf of everyone, thank you very much for the effort you put forward to that. And perhaps next time Park and Planning can join in the fun. And with that, I'll conclude the report.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Worsnop, Ward 4.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Two quick things. First is I had another discussion with residents in the Madison Hill community, and I'm following up with town staff on a few kind of ongoing items on that. But I also wanted to extend thanks from that community to the Riverdale Park Police Department. They credit your presence in the community for helping to address the backup at school drop-off and pickup, and some of the potential truancy issues that they were noticing. So wanted me to extend that thanks to you and hope that that can continue. So thank you for all of your ongoing efforts there. I also wanted to mention two items in Riverdale Park Station. One ongoing, one new. There continue to be kind of tractor trailers going through the community. Another one just last week. And so I know I've been in touch with staff about this, and this issue is longstanding. I think it is still better than it was in the past, but definitely has continued to occur. And they cause damage to sidewalks and grass, and shouldn't be going through the community. So perhaps we could revisit the additional signage that we discussed, or more flashing signage. I'm not sure what else could be done. The other thing is, there was recently a median installed and a no left-hand turn sign put up on Route 1 to prevent left-hand turns onto Woodbury. So I was wondering who did that. And then a follow-up question was, since it's been installed, I've seen countless cars continuing to make the left-hand turn. So was just wondering if there was going to be any additional signage, or perhaps a flashing sign for the no left-hand turn there. But also the question about who installed it and why now. Like, did something happen to provoke it? So that's what I've got.
Thank you, Councilmember Worsnop. Councilmember Ramos, Ward 5.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have anything to report today.
Okay, thank you. And then last, Councilmember Colon, Ward 6.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say something small thing about this Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving is something which is very important. We went to pray Friday. The Imam narrated something about this Thanksgiving, which make me my head to rise up. He said, the Almighty Allah respect Thanksgiving because He is the one that would tell in thanks to. He said, let no Muslim decline this Thanksgiving. He said, it's very important. He said, all the prophets that they passed away, they all were doing this Thanksgiving to the Almighty God. So he encouraged us, when Thanksgiving is coming, let's embrace our children, our friends, our neighbors, if we happen to be together, and praise the Almighty God. So he said, please, I want everybody to respect this Thanksgiving. So that's what's in narrated to us. Well, as I reach there, my own Thanksgiving with my children, we enjoy it. Everybody have one chronic hen, plates full of food and everything, drinks. So we enjoy ourselves. So I thank you all those who celebrate Thanksgiving. May God bless all of us. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I stop there.
Thank you, Councilmember. And thank you all for your reports. And that's the end of our agenda topics. The last is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Smith.
motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Motion by Councilmember Smith, second by Councilmember Foe. We'll go straight to a roll call vote. It's not discussed. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Hi.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Colon.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 7-0. We are adjourned at 7:59. Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.